In this video, I won't even show you how to do the whole flower. I just wanted to show you these half stitches. And you see these leaves have a whole lot of them. I'll choose to start here on the base because I can count the 1 point space from this other grass that I already had on my design. And I never start with the half stitches, so I started with 2 stitches that, if you look at the pattern on the left, they're supposed to be full, and here is one that's gonna be half. So the first half of it is just the same, but then the upper one, here's where it would be normally, and you see I have to go through the middle of the square in this case because it's only half. And then when I come back, it's normal. So one diagonal is always normal and one is cut in half. Other than that, it's all the same. I'm doing all half stitches to go up. It's just that you have to pay a lot more attention. You see here I have a half one again when I was going, and then I came back just doing the normal diagonal. I'll do the full other sleeve so you have a chance to pay attention then comparing to the pattern. For now, just pay attention to how I actually have to punch in the middle of the square and then come up exactly where I would come up if I was doing a full stitch. And because you're not working the needle completely vertical, it's useful sometimes to first see where the needle is supposed to go and then do it again. So here, because I am doing first the part that is a half, I have this, it will look a little different just because you see the half stitch is on top instead of on the bottom. You can try to always force that to happen if you prefer, if you think it looks better. For instance, here I will undo just for you to compare, and instead of doing the normal diagonal the normal way, I will just pass the thread under the half stitch just to make sure that the diagonal that is normal goes under the half stitch. That sometimes makes it look a lot more obvious that it's a half stitch. If it's still looking confusing, don't worry, we'll do the whole other leaf. And as I said, you see, here I'm trying where it would normally go, and oops, it's actually a half one, so instead of working the needle vertically, I have to work it diagonally and come up in the middle of that square. These half stitches just mean you have to pay a lot more attention to your pattern, both when you're doing all the half stitches going one way and you're coming back as well, so you know which stitches you're not supposed to finish in full, you're just supposed to do them half. And there's my nephew passing on the back. So I'll just finish here and I'll do the other leaf. As I said, I always start with the full ones and then I come back around to where I was supposed to do a half stitch. And you see, because sometimes the first half that you do is the one that the diagonal is normal, you have to pay a lot of attention when you come back as well to see which ones you're supposed to finish as half stitches. So full, full, and then I have a half one. Enter in the middle, come up where it would normally come up. Then on the bottom line, full, I'm sorry, it's actually a half one, enter in the middle, come up normally, and come back normally. And here's another half stitch. And again, you can decide if you want to throw your thread to the left so that it stays under the half stitch. I generally like this better, I just don't always remember to keep it like that. Full stitch, here's a half, but the half part's already done, so the going back's just normal. Finish those 2 fulls. bottom line another full one, but when I come down I have to go diagonally because the stitch on the bottom is a half one. And that's it for the leaves. I will actually show a little bit more the actual flower, just to show a few more tricks, and if you think you've seen enough, don't stop the video completely, just go straight to the end, because I want to show the finishing with the single thread contour. So here I'm just showing that I always try not to start on that line that's full of half stitches. So I try to go one line up and start on a line that has a little bit more full stitches for me to hold the beginning and then the end thread. So here now on the bottom I have 1/2, 1 full and 1/2. Just at this first half I start with a half diagonal and come back full, while the first stitch I had done the first half full, and when I get there I'll have to do a half one. I hope this makes sense. It probably makes more sense you looking than what I'm saying. You see, and sometimes it's tricky when we already did half to find the middle of that square to go on. But as long as you keep paying attention to your pattern, you get there. And here I just wanted to show that I didn't want to skip to the next line, because as soon as I did go up to the next line I realized that first stitch was a half one. So instead of starting a line on a half one, I went back one stitch on the line that I was under. Then I went up, did the half stitch to the left, and now I kept going to the right. And this last bit here is just to show you how much you have to pay attention even when you're coming back. I did all half stitches going up, and when I came back there was a half stitch right in the middle of a row. So you have to keep paying attention to your pattern with those half stitches. And here's how it looks finished. And I'm pointing here a place that I did a full stitch where it said a half stitch, and then with the single thread contour on a darker color I just went diagonal. So you see the difference. This is a half stitch, this is a half stitch, this is a half stitch. Here I did a full stitch and then I just covered up by doing a single thread contour. Sometimes it works, it's up to you if you want to take the extra trouble. Usually the patterns with half stitches are a lot more complicated. Have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.